For over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price, turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
We all play the same game. The battlefield may look different, but between those painted lines, the feeling each of us get alongside our tribe. Let the moment sink in, then let it rip. The runs out wide, last-ditch efforts and clean sheets. The tap-in or rocket to the top bins. The eruption of the 12th player that sends shivers down your spine. It's in the way we celebrate, because football is everyone's game. Play football.
On the back of the announcement at the celebration of football, NPLSA will be investing $50,000 into a coach education fund. $35,000 will be invested into community coach education, which will see 19 courses at club venues and over 500 community coaches. Working closely with clubs to develop and upskill coaches will strengthen the grassroots community, which will obviously benefit the football community as a whole.
It can only be beneficial because most of the clubs, most of the coaches start off just as parents coaching their kids' teams, and they're learning on the job as much as the kids. So this would be perfect because not only would kids be getting coached, the coaches will be getting coached.
As a club, we struggle to attract good coaches, and having this sort of funding coming our way will actually allow us to sort of offer more boys and girls out there to actually coach at the club. Everything comes at a cost these days, and this award presented to our club here again will allow our average parents, supporters, players to the opportunity to come out and actually to take on coaching and to be part of it. They've got a passion about this sport and a passion about this club. They'll be able to come here now, get trained up and actually take on a team and just move forward with us here.
The remaining $15,000 will be invested into a joint initiative with NPLSA, Adelaide United and PSV, where selected coaches and technical directors from South Australia will be given the professional development opportunity to go to PSV in October 2025.
Once you get the bug for the coaching, you love it, and you love seeing the kids improve, especially the connection to your club. You want to see the kids come through at your club, and it's just a win-win for everyone.
Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. Fixed price, turnkey. It's gotta be HPG.
Puts in the penalty and wins the grand final for Campbelltown City.
Hello and welcome to TK Shuttle Reserve for tonight's clash in round 16 of the RAA NPLSA between MetroStars and Adelaide United Youth. I'm your match commentator, Lucas Ronaldo. I'm joined tonight by Simon Jimenez. Simon, this should be an absolute cracker. MetroStars on fire this season.
Yeah, for sure. And I think just the format they've had recently and the run that they're getting ready for in the Australia Cup, they're going to want to really take some form into that, and also a bit of a milestone game for the young Reds tonight as well. So I think we're in for some fun Saturday night action.
Yeah, and they've had some good results go their way today. Metro, Beergrad losing in their clash with Bacala, so they can really lengthen that lead on top of the league this year. And like you say, they have some big games coming up. Of course, we've seen their draw this week. They'll head to Canberra to play Canberra-Croatia in the Australia Cup. So if they can get this lead a bit further, it could give them a real opportunity to start potentially rotating their side later in the season, and they could be on track for something really special this season.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the topic of rotations, there's a couple of changes for tonight's squad as well. So, yeah, maybe a little bit of a trial run. They've been pretty consistent all year with the 11 that they have lined up with, unless they're forced through injuries and whatnot to reshuffle a little bit. So, yeah, it's good to test the versatility a bit, and that new pickup during the week as well.
We'll see how they go tonight without the league's leading goal scorer Owen Windsor. Of course, a hat trick for him last week, but also a yellow card which sees him miss tonight's clash through suspension. There's also a fresh name on the bench, Mitchell Miller, in the side for the first time, arriving from Monarchs in the Amateur League. Fabian Barbiero has also moved down to the bench, while for Adelaide United, there's a couple of big outs for them as well.
Yeah, I guess Owen Windsor's the big one that you mentioned. 12 goals scored this year, which is, quite a feat. But Jackson Fortunato, I believe it's the second week in a row that he's going to be missing out as well. So I'm probably expecting him to be back this week, just judging off a couple of conversations that I had. So a little bit surprised to see him out.
For the Reds there, without Joey Garuccio and the captain, Sotiris Phyllis, they're still out at the moment, but they do welcome back Ryan White into the side, as well as Harry Crawford. This will be a bit of a landmark clash for the young Reds tonight. Anton Andrioli, it's his last game in charge of the youth side before he heads off to be the coach of the senior side. Of course, he's pulling a bit of double duty through the off-season at the moment. Soon he'll take charge with the Reds' first team pre-season beginning this week. How do you see that changing things for the Reds in the second half of the NPL season?
I know they got a pretty disciplined setup, so I probably don't see things changing that greatly. I think for his last game, just sort of looking back on that, it's been a great opportunity to see some of these young players get to impress their future senior coach. So I think that's really exciting. Couple, well-known names in Harvey Lopez and Elvis Markov taking the helm for the last bit. So I'm guessing they'll be in sort of caretaker mode just to see him through to the end of the season, because it's fast approaching.
Yeah, we saw with Carl Viet how when he came into the Adelaide United setup, of course, as a youth coach first of all, and then he was able to sort of transform those relationships into the senior level. It'll be interesting to see if his successor can do the same thing, Anton Andrioli. But for MetroStars, is the league obviously not mathematically wrapped up if they win tonight, but it's getting really close. Have they got 9 fingers on it at the moment?
I think so, but yeah, I think realistically it'd take a little bit of a small miracle to see their form drop off to the level, that they may come off that top spot. But yeah, really, if I think you're in charge of that club at the moment, you'd be really looking forward to that round of 32 and just getting ready to really be the force in the Australia Cup. So I think, although the league's one side of it, I think this form really has to continue to even improve.
How do they go about replacing the front man Owen Windsor tonight, though? That is a huge out.
Yeah, but I mean, they've got plenty of names in the team that are capable of scoring. Cameron Woodfin, he'll probably slide into that role up front. He's got 6 goals to his name. Michael Cittadini, he's got a couple goals and more when you include the cup run. Christian Satira is able to play in the middle as well. I think they're not short of firepower, MetroStars.
And we're underway from this clash for the TK Shuttle Reserve. MetroStars shooting from left to right tonight, up against Adelaide United, all in white tonight. Should be a thrilling encounter. MetroStars so much to accomplish the rest of this season. And with this last game of Anton Edrioli's reign, as we say. It's a big chance for some of these young Reds to press their case that they should be joining in with first team football when Reds training kicks off for the first team next week. Move inside here. So Burkett. Crawford, of course, we saw him make his mark in the senior team. Played 2 games on one day last year.
Not a bad effort at all. And even the opportunity to pull on some green and gold in recent weeks as well. And what an opportunity that is for a young player to get a chance to, I guess, even just be in training and be in an environment where the expectation is so high. It's only a good thing for these young players to get that sort of exposure.
We talk so much, don't we, about the lack of games sometimes in Australian football and that players aren't playing enough, but really these NPL players, if anything, play too much at the time because they have to go through an awful lot, and it can only be good for their development.
I think when you're so young as well, that's when you really want to have that game time. That's when you get that real rapid rate of development. And if you're a young player coming up against full-grown men as well, I think that's that can only be a good thing as long as your body can take it. And that, the age of under 20, you'd hope that it can.
So a lovely goal across from Hamish Gow to Chittadini. Chittadini leads the league in assists so far this season with 6. As Adelaide United look to attack here. Coughed up possession. Porter passes it off. Of course, a former Adelaide United player through the youth team. Chittadini was the target. And well won by Ryan White. It's a good ball through to Burkett. Milani Tattoo is lurking in the back post. He'll go himself, and nice early sider for the Reds.
Yeah, so far, a good bit of action at both ends. I was just thinking in the lead up to that turnover and opportunity for Adelaide United, I think we figured out who our man up front is going to be. I think it's Jake Porter in the number 12. Interestingly, also Christian Statira is in a more central position than he usually is, and I can't see the number of the player on the far left. That'll probably be Thomas Visser, I'd imagine, with Chittadini on the near side.
Here he comes now, as the ball comes across, and was Satira lurking, I believe. Chittadini having to close down the ball. End-to-end start here for MetroStars.
Interestingly, I had a bit of a chat to one of Christian Statira's family members just ahead of the cup game last week, and he was sort of saying that Statira really likes to work a little bit more centrally. I think he's so effective on the right-hand side that, it's not something I even consider, but maybe a chance to sort of prove himself in that role tonight and say, hey, put me in contention to play here a little bit more often.
Absolutely, and as we say, as the season rolls on, might be more chances to sort of experiment with different positions and different players as they take a direct approach this time. Jake Porter, the target. Mentioned him playing centrally, of course, something his dad did for many years to much success. Joel Porter, full-time Socceroo. Might have a little point to prove tonight up against the Reds. Of course, his first season at Metro.
One of the exciting things for Metro is as well just their versatility. They use the pitch so well, always spread their opponents so far wide, but the way they use the width isn't always the same. The far wide players all approach it in a little bit different way. This very different to Chittadini and is very different to Statira.
There are some similarities between these sides. They both have the 2 highest possession stats in the competition so far this season, as well as the 2 highest pressing teams in the league. So both with a similar philosophy.
Well, I think probably that's kind of what leads to just these 2 teams probably being the most impressive to watch as well. It's always an entertaining match at these TK Shuttle Reserve games that are usually this time slot, 7:30 on a Saturday night. It's always a good watch. It's a very pleasing way that MetroStars play football, and Adelaide United, the young Reds as well. I did see they were sort of challenged a couple of weeks ago, Adelaide United at FK Beergrad, where we had some really poor weather and the pitch was in pretty poor condition as well on grass. But I think this sort of surface, the artificial, when they can move things really quickly, suits both sides.
Adelaide trying to move the ball quickly. There was Burkett just dropping in for that direct pass. It's almost, as well as that, maybe just a little bit more professionalism. We know MetroStars have been successful for so long as Amlani Tatu looks to put his dazzling feet to work. But maybe just a bit more of a professional style amongst these two sides. A lot of these guys have played A-League in Adelaide United sense, and MetroStars, we know the efforts they've put in the past couple of years to sort of take up a notch, and they'll compete on the national stage again this year. As Shinadini moves forward. Hamish Gow can hit them. This one just about a metre wide, but another sighter for Metro, their first attempt of the match.
Yeah, just going back to your point about the professionalism of these two teams, it's absolutely no secret that MetroStars have aspirations to test themselves on a national level, and I think they've got the setup to do that.
Well, you'd think they'd fancy their chances against Canberra, Croatia in the Australia Cup. Pretty decent draw. Definitely have a stronger NPL than ACT do. But let's hope we can have a bit further of a run. As interesting on this goal kick, Burkett just almost started on the opposition's 18-yard line. He was in what would be an offside position normally. He sprints back about 40 metres.
He's an interesting player to watch, Burkett. He's always got a lot of aggression, and to be honest, he plays with a lot of balls too. So for him to sort of be aggressive and try to put him under some early pressure, yeah, I can't say that's something that that surprises me, having seen the young Reds a fair bit this year.
It seems to be a tactic because he's doing it again. I'm sure there is something very complicated going on, but you don't see it too often.
I think that might be an Anton Andrioli brainchild.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Archie Goodwin's doing that next year. Here is Burkett. Tatu. Ball cut out. Jackson Walls now. Skipper tonight. D'Angelo. McNamara, his passing so essential to this side. Most passes into the opposition final third of any player in the competition so far, which for a centre-back is pretty impressive. Can step into the middle, of course, as well at times. Here's Porter, he's done well there. Then Kasumovic all ends up. Porter with a good ball in. Hamish Gow, and just over the bar. Did he get a deflection?
I didn't see the deflection, but they have. That's such a danger zone for Hamish Gow. He always finds him lurking around about that zone. That might have even been a little bit closer than where he usually launches it from. He's usually, maybe would have been more comfortable from outside the 18-yard box.
It was a brilliant ghosting late run, wasn't it? Maybe I think he could have done even more with it. There's a high press here from Metro. Adelaide United are going to try and play their way through it. Start again with a goal kick, and there's a feature of what the Reds will do, play out from the back at all costs.
It's always an interesting spot to commentate from TK Shutter because we're right on top of both benches and you can hear the instructions, and I think tactically Danny Greystone and Anton Andrioli possibly the two more interesting benches to hear what they have to say, especially tactically, just that discipline that they try to instill into their respective sides.
And this time they'll go long. And it's two that are lurking in that position behind the back four. I don't think you can be offside for a goal kick. That's why I said before, not normally an offside position. Might need to check that, actually. I believe that's right. That's what I mean. You don't really normally see a player in an offside position from a goal kick. So
we've probably got some folks in our commentators group chat that can clear that up.
I'm sure someone will.
Guys, we've sent out the bat signal.
Metro this time looking to build out from the back through D'Angelo. Nice ball into midfield. Satira dropping deep for Porter. Nice football here from the Reds. Everyone on the pitch saying it's their ball. But it does go on Adelaide United. It does go Adelaide United's way, rather.
Talking about professionalism, in particular of the young players of the young Reds, it's hard to imagine the age of some of these players, and one that comes to mind is Amlani Tatu, because he's not even 17 years old yet. In fact, he's going to be turning 17 on Tuesday, apparently. So just the maturity of a player like that, and the bright future that you can foresee for him.
I'm so excited to see what happens with him
in
the season to come this week. Asked Edson Andrioli in his first press conference this week about how he sees his progression. Edson refuses to answer any question about individuals, but there was a slight nod when I said that could we see him more this season. It does speak to Andrioli's sort of team-first philosophy, but he's just an exciting player. That skill, we don't really see players like that coming through in Australia too often.
I've had conversations with a current A-League player, and let me tell you this, Amlani Tatu is certainly on their radar.
He does things that not many can do. As Reds move forward here through Crawford, the simple comparison, I think, has been Aaron Kunda, but he's a different sort of player. He's more skillful, maybe less powerful. Nesta was built like a beast at age 14, 15, whereas Tatu's always been a bit more slight. They obviously have similar celebrations and shots from distance. It's a Tira. That's a very nice ball for Chittadini. Does he set someone up or go himself? He went to Porter at the back post, and Porter, I think, didn't expect it to come.
Yeah, he wasn't ready for that one at all. It'd be interesting to know what went through his head at that point, because perhaps he just had his eye off it and all of a sudden the ball was just drifting past his feet, but he'd be pretty disappointed there, you'd imagine, and maybe even Chittadini's thinking possibly could have had a chance to cut that back and have a go myself.
Yeah, it was a good ball. It just went through the legs of the Reds defender, which made it a little bit more awkward than it looked like on first viewing. The goalkeeper here, Jackson Walls, who shows his own tricks to Amlani Tatu. Satira just got him behind the defence, and Kasumovic did enough. Danny Greystone didn't like that one. Burkett. Now Tatu. Quite really desired that one. Blue chip ball from the goalkeeper, Ostrich. Kasumovic, always so composed on the ball. He's another one that could get a chance in the A-League at some point in the next 12 months. You know how much the Reds have struggled in terms of their defence.
I think usually it's maybe a little bit of a rare thing to have such a young defender line up, but when things aren't exactly working in their favour at the moment, you get to try some things, don't you?
MetroStars beginning to compose themselves on this match, and it's a good ball, just maybe a little bit too deep. Jake Porter, rather, was once again the target.
Doesn't help when they say this, have the same initials either, does it?
And, another goal kick, another chance for Adelaide United to build from the back here, as they always try to do. Balls in an aerial drill with Burkett. Chittadini. Ball's a lovely turn. Brilliant from Chittadini. He's been the danger man so far, and had his shirt tugged in that move, but that shows what he can do. As we mentioned, leads the league in assists so far this season. Hamish Gow just couldn't quite get his foot on it. Ryan White, no one who's been away, comes back this week. Good run for Ostrich, and that's so calm. First time pass from a goalkeeper. That's the modern goalkeeper, isn't it? Just being able to play that ball out rather than when you're under pressure, rather than putting your foot through it?
I always find him really commanding. He's not a player that's caught on to shot stop a terrible lot, given just how solid MetroStars are defensively, but he's always quite a presence at the back, Cody Ostrode.
I think he's only 21, I believe, so still a lot of time
to
grow, especially for a goalkeeper.
Yeah, he doesn't seem 21, does he? I think maybe from demeanour and appearance he's...
I did have to check that when I saw it too.
Unless he's had a birthday around the mid part of the year, I could be wrong with that, but yeah, certainly a much younger goalkeeper than you'd probably predict.
Mara, trademark pass out of the back line. Porter putting himself about.
20 years younger than Fabian Barbiero.
Wow, that's pretty remarkable, isn't it?
Imagine
it's
young
amazing.
To be your teammate's son.
It's amazing that Barbs is still performing to the level he is. I held a game with him about 2 or 3 years ago, and we were calling that his retirement tour. And he made me a fool by playing another 1, 2, now 3 seasons. But I think at this stage, it might be his last this year. We'll have to wait and see. But he's such a legend of South Australian football. On the bench, of course, tonight. Played 113 games for Adelaide United senior side.
Be interested to have a chat to him just about, how he feels being a player at this stage, because there comes a time where I think a lot of players, as well as their bodies being tired mentally, they're just tired and get drained with the whole thing, but you must still have such a passion for the game to still be driven to front up.
Foul there against Wolves, but it's remarkable. I remember there was a period of his Reds career where he was a little bit injury prone, and that's, like you say, now about 20 years ago. And he's still going. And for the most part of his Metro career has been really, really lucky, I guess, with injuries. And part of that, not just luck, just the way he conditions himself. Did have a bit of an injury this year, and of course spent a bit more time on the bench, but keeps himself in remarkable.
Yeah, the groin was a bit of an issue for him this year. Maybe we'll come back to that.
Cittadini whips one in. And it's at the back post. Hamish Gower, third lash at goal. And Satira will go for it. And it was a good save from Page in goal. And again, it was Hamish Gower making himself known in the box. But it was Satira who got the shot off.
Had enough time to take an almighty wind up at that one. Play it onto the right foot and just give himself a little bit of time. But perhaps gave Oscar Page a little bit of time to come back and just make up some ground.
The corner here, Cittadini's there for it short, but we'll go for the in-swinger if they do get it in.
McNamara header.
He will be one of the targets along with D'Angelo, you'd think. He drops to Woodfin, thought about the shot. In the end, it's to the back post, and it is McNamara. Has one attempt and then a second, and this time gets it in. And it might not be a header, but he scores with his left. It was the two centre-backs combining. Originally D'Angelo, who had the attempt to cross, and finished off by the former Adelaide United player, Noah McNamara. And you're on the money there.
Well, close. We didn't quite get the prediction 100% right, but he's just had so much confidence off those corner kicks lately. For a centre-back to now be up to, I believe it's his third goal. I feel like there was possibly more of those during the Australia Cup matches. He's an absolute weapon to have up front off those corner kick situations, and especially when Hamish Gower's delivering it in with the precision that he's got. So
they do score a lot of goals off set pieces. We saw Christian D'Angelo get one in the Australia Cup qualifying final against Comets, and now it's his centre-back partner who gets one, not with his head, but with his feet. And Metro take a relatively early lead here in this one.
You mentioned at the very start the fact that, we have got Owen Wimter with his 12 goals in RA NPLSA to his name, and, maybe thinking, where does the firepower in front of goal come from? And that sort of answers the question. It can come from the centre-backs even in this MetroStars squad.
Noah McNamara having a fantastic season. See how he goes, of course, in that Australia Cup. And just a reminder, that Federation Cup final between MetroStars and Croatia Raiders on next Saturday, 12th of July. Go to Football SA website to get your tickets for that one. Hopefully a good crowd there. As a lovely kill attempt by Satira, but Ryan White manages to cut it out. Raiders, a bizarre season they're having. They obviously struggling in the league, although they have turned things around a little bit in the past couple of weeks, but that's a cup run. Really, maybe a season saver, and now they get to go into the Australia Cup too. Just to add a little bit more drama to it, I did hear that their captain, Anthony Costa, came off at about the 33rd minute today as well, so that'd be a bit of a concern. Be a huge loss. So reliant on him for goals this season, when goals have really dried up. They have a 4-1 win a couple of weeks ago, but I think up until the cup final, they've gone about 4 games without scoring. Oh, the cup semi-final, I should say.
So I know a lot about their opposition that they're playing. Cooks something, but I know they're Northern
Cooks
New South
United,
Wales.
yeah. All I know that on the stream, the guys from Suited and Booted did refer to them as the Cookers, which I'm not sure if that's their official nickname, but again, a pretty favourable draw, you'd think. Based out in Newcastle. Northern New South Wales NPL isn't quite as strong, you'd think, as the South Australian one, as Metro look to build this attack on the left-hand side. It's a good ball in. Porter was the target again. It just came off the midriff of Satira. And here is Hamish Gow. And this one clears the net behind the goal. And another chance. I think that's 4 attempts at goal he's had now, Hamish Gow.
That one was a bit more in the sort of Gow zone, as I'm going to henceforth name it, just outside the 18 yard
the Gow zone.
The Gow zone.
Sounds delicious.
He didn't find the back of the net in that occasion, though, so maybe it's... maybe we can't anoint it that quite yet.
We know he can score from distance whenever he feels like it at times. And he's been one of the danger men for MetroStars so far in this encounter. Tatu. O'Neill left it, but maybe just not on the same page as his teammate there. Chittadini gets around O'Neill. That's brilliant work from Chittadini. Can he find a shot and just block that time? But Chittadini had Bailey O'Neill beaten all ends up there.
You always think, though, even when, United are struggling out back a little bit, it's just such a unique position that they're in as a NPL development side for Adelaide United, that even when they do come up against teams and they struggle a little bit, like they are at the moment, to just defend MetroStars, how useful that can be for their development as well. Because if A-League careers are in the future of some of these players, they're going to have some quality that they're going to come up against.
Chiodini lofting the ball in that time. O'Neill. Dangerous one there. Nice pass out loud there. And now it's the Reds who can build forward. Their first foray forward in a little while. They cut it back here. Chance and it was a speculative pass. Not able to get it there in the end. Very chilly night, TK Shuttle Reserve. And we've seen at all times these two sides building from the back at all costs. I say that just as they go long. Chittadini. I think maybe the main difference in that build-up is in the second and third phase, Metro don't mind going long at that time, whereas the Reds will sort of do it more so at all costs.
Yeah, that's probably accurate. I mean, they certainly do favour the slower build-up MetroStars, but Cody Ostrike is absolutely capable of pinpointing some players long, and he does it right on cue here.
Well, you had a prediction for Matt Namara's goal. One thing I'll say, I can see a goal off of a defensive turnover inside the back four in this game. Just the pressing of both sides. They both press quite high and both like to play out from the back. They want to keep an eye on. So claim for handball there. Good ball wide from White. Lofted in from Crawford. Burkett was the target. Crawford, good pressing from him. Plays down the back, and Komsumovic will recycle it into Ryan White. Gow retrieves, now Woodford. Play was the instructor there from Danny Greystone. Was Chinadini, that was free on the near side, but Woodford played it safe on that occasion. They have kept the ball here. The free kick against Metro.
It's interesting that a couple of minutes ago we were sort of watching MetroStars having a lot of momentum up forward, and pretty maturely the young Reds have been able to sort of try just change things around a little bit and just shift some momentum back their way.
Brilliant pass from Ryan White, switching it to Tattoo. What can he do here? Amlani Tattoo with a nice direct cross, and that's how they can change that momentum. Ryan White with a spectacular crossfield switch, and he always back Tattoo in a 1v1.
Looks like Ryan White and Fazo Kasumovic are the go-to tall men presenting themselves for this corner.
They have plenty of height at the back. See if they can use it to their advantage off this set piece. And there was an attempt for a flick back, but didn't quite come off. And could have been a good counter-attack there for MetroStars, and a free kick given. In, well, you said the Gow zone at the other end. This is Tattoo territory.
That's going to come back to bite me, I feel. Tattoo territory. I like that. Well, maybe first one to score from that spot gets naming rights on it.
Seen in green and gold is his abilities from a free kick. You get it in the white and red tonight, or burgundy. Crawford is also over it. Tattoo probably does look a bit more determined. There's 4 in the wall, a lot of height in that wall for MetroStars. He's going to have to do well to get it up and over. It's Amlani Tattoo. Oh, just wide. It looked like it was just going to nestle into that bottom corner. Lovely strike, but just wide. Really
dangerous delivery there. Cody Ostrike did an almighty dive, and he wasn't going to leave that one to chance. His approach to the ball was really interesting. Crawford looked like he was just a little bit more square to it, but Tattoo was almost at a right angle to that delivery. So interesting to watch how he sort of launches it from the spot.
Well, he said that as Metro do break away here, is there a chance that Tira now will get it? Will he have a crack at goal, or just try to find Jake Porter on that occasion? But just on Tattoo on that free kick, he has said that he, of course, looks up to Nestor Irinkunda. He scored one almost exactly like that his first day, or maybe not his first A-League goal, but in his first season away at Newcastle Jets. He was about 15 there. It's a very similar sort of strut up, like you say, on almost a right angle to the ball. Touching walls, and Tattoo was pressing. Chinadini. O'Neill gets his foot on it. Down to play, it'll be an Adelaide throw in.
Just on the point of that Irukunda Tattoo likeness, they got a bit of a habit of plagiarising each other at times, football players, don't they? If it's an effective style, you may as well give it a try.
Absolutely. It may be one that they've learned together. They have spoken about each other a lot in the past. With a little bit of a disagreement there with Porter about how to build up. Good touch from Jake Porter to Tira. Just wanted something wide. Instead, he would get it from the overlapping Scott Nagel. Now Satira. Woodford. There's a man on him. But gets it to Gow, and they will just be relaxed here. Good ball from Walls. Lovely touch from Satira, but he just came across there, and for a moment there, looked like Satira was going to break through.
Just mentioned a second ago about Porter getting a quick little word from Woodfin. There's sort of two opportunities that he's potentially not been quite right positioned to receive. There was that one from Chittadini earlier that sort of landed between his legs, and that instance from Satira as well. So perhaps just getting some instructions just to make sure he's properly alert.
Free kick there. I thought that was 50-50. That shot to shoulder, to be honest. Might have heard that on the broadcast, and Nico Snow just asking for a card against Burkett.
I think Jackson Walls even gave some. He's always great thing about commentating, and when they're kicking from left to right, you do often hear Jackson Walls give a little bit of constructive input. He's a bit of a character, I got to say. He's I know he's a country lad, and he comes across a little bit different to some of the other players, I got to say.
Great salad on him too. The hair is brilliant. That's one that hurts on a cold night, I think. Just into Hamish Gow. Hopefully it was just a contact thing rather than any movement in the leg, but had it smacked into his leg from about half a metre away.
Lucky it didn't hit him in the Gow zone.
We'll leave that there. For Anthony Andrioli, you mentioned this is his last game of the youth team. I'm sure he'll still be involved quite heavily with the development side of things. Free kick there in favour of Adelaide United. But really no break at all for him as he goes from the others. I hope the Reds are paying him two salaries at the moment, because they're just insane to still be coaching 1 week beforehand.
I did think of that about some of the players that have been pulling a bit of double duty as well. You know, you mentioned it earlier, just the amount of games. I mean, it is great for development, but sometimes you do just want to break from time to time, don't you? Yeah, the family might want a holiday.
Well, I believe he will get down to Brazil at some point during its pre-season. So, at Clemzig in his last game as a youth coach.
They do say Clemzig is the Copacabana beach of South Australia.
I'd love to know who they is.
Yeah.
Sumovic. Porter was nearby and pressing, and Porter does have a little crack at Page and almost managed to nick it off the goalkeeper's feet. Prediction earlier on was almost right.
Well, plenty of time to have that proven correct, because, yeah, I think you're bang on the money there. And despite, I was about to say, MetroStars don't look like they're immune from that possibility of being vulnerable to a high press. Comets did it quite effectively, that high pressure in the cup game, which I think they surprised everyone to.
On here for Bailey O'Neill this time. Just a drill pass out. That was nice and composed that time from Page. I'll turn your back to the instruction from the Metro dugout. And they'll keep that pressure up. Sumovic just dinks one into the path of Burkett. Love the way he plays out. Sumovic. He's a very easy on the eye defender.
I think another player that doesn't really seem his age when you're watching him out there.
Chance for a ball in. Burkett wanted it, but it was well defended. Adelaide again. Nice feet by Crawford. Burkett was there. Can he have a lash at goal? To pass it back, and here's a chance, and it was just wide. What an opportunity that was for Adelaide United. It was Battistella with the chance, and probably the best chance I've had of the game so far.
It didn't look too far off at all, especially from this angle. Cody Ostrike didn't even get a dive off to it, so I mean, we mentioned your prediction not long ago. And there was another possible opportunity there to make that come true for Adelaide United.
Obviously not wishing it on either side.
Is that what I said? Sorry.
Nagel will look to switch that one for O'Neill. Managed to isolate O'Neill at times in this game so far, just was doubling up on that left-hand side, or on Adelaide United's left-hand side rather. Ball's come down this hand side for this right-hand side for Metro a lot as well. That one's out of play.
It's flown by a little bit this first half. I just had a quick check of the watch. I think we haven't got the official One World LED and Sportal scoreboard in front of us, but I believe we're just nudging 40 minutes in.
It's actually right behind us. I don't have the neck, right down below us, I don't have the net capacity. Just on the opposite side of the grandstand, the new scoreboard. TK Shuttle Reserve, of course, with a facelift in the past couple of years. Better than ever. Giudini looking for Woodfin, who'd burst forward from central midfield. He just wrestles Kasumovic, and he didn't like that too much, Kasumovic. There was a little bit of asters there.
I enjoy a young player that doesn't let himself get bullied around. So, you know, some courage there, I think, from both Woodfin and Kasumovic there.
Along here. Burkett. No attempt really for the aerial duel, wanting that second ball instead. Down is a foul against Burkett, and he's got to be careful with the descent here. Already had one like that before. Lets him be for now.
He always uses his body so well, Gary. You can tell just the way he judged that ball and put his body, sort of set himself up right to it before taking that initial touch.
Now Adelaide move forward. Crawford is so quick. Ridiculous level of pace. Another one can pull out the acrobatics from time to time, as we saw after he scored his first A-League goal last season. What goal that was as well. Page again having to come pretty far off his line. The foul's beginning to build. It's both sides with a bit of niggle going on here.
Yeah, they seem to have a lot to say tonight.
It's cold. I think everyone wants to keep themselves busy, raise the blood. Hamish Gow. Lovely pass. Brilliant from Gow. It's Satira. Can he set someone up, and just couldn't find the ball back. It was a lovely pass initially from Hamish Gow. Satira just not finding the final ball. Ryan White didn't want to go back to his goalkeeper this time.
I think during his first half, it's perhaps been MetroStars struggling a little bit with their makeshift setup.
Yeah, left one, didn't he, on Bailey O'Neill. A little bit naughty, that one, pretty late. That might be one too many for the referee here, I think. Reaches for a card, and that will be a yellow card for Bailey O'Neill, the first card of the clash so far.
No, McNamara sounded a bit like a school teacher a second ago there. I'm not sure if you caught that. Or maybe I'll give you the rundown at half time, but just the tone was very... It was more like I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed.
If you'd like to hear from a tutor rather than a teacher, well, then why not study the game? Flinders University now offers degrees in sport, teaching, psychology, social work, and more at its new city campus. Apply now for mid-year entry. And I'll be entering that one into the segue of the year category at the NPLSA Awards.
Very impressed with that. You're ready to go.
Potter. Feeling close control, but the pass not quite to the same level. O'Neill now have to be careful. Given the start of the game that Chididini's had, it's not the type of player you want to be going in half-heartedly against, as Subovic would battle with Porter this time.
Pretty physical from the young Reds, I've got to say. Not letting themselves get bullied by the top-of-the-table team. But skills certainly on display from both these sides. I think tactically in the way that they move the ball, I think you see it kind of the best of the best from the NPL tonight, I think.
Yeah, I think it's first versus fourth on the ladder, but in terms of technical ability, it might be 1v2. Which one of the game, of course, and it'll be interesting to see who can fill that spot behind Metro, presumably if they can go on and to wrap the minor premiership. But Croydon have been in such good form as of late. Beergrad, of course, have been brilliant, but lost today. Pretty open if you go behind the competition's benchmark in Metro. Page. Grave. Very grave to Kasunovic. Crossfield switch cut out this time. Adelaide just coming into it slightly. Like to have possession in areas they might not like, but they do seem to have a bit more of the rhythm of this game at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's probably accurate to say it looked like at one point Metro looked to have most of the momentum, but I think they've successfully turned that around. And in terms of general play, it's looking pretty even, and I'm just pretty impressed as well, just with the confidence and courage that the young Reds are playing with as well. They really don't seem too intimidated by MetroStars at all.
Seen more of that physicality as well just there. Attacking from Busasa, strong one. He moves back there, and Page just puts his foot through it on the half volley. Plays from D'Angelo.
Burkett's making a bit of a nuisance of himself in front of Cody Ostrike.
There's battles going on all over the pitch so far. Subovic, to O'Neill. Suss up. I think the half-time whistle will be a welcome one for MetroStars as Adelaide build it. Metro definitely had the opening stages as Busasa, I think, wasn't sure whether he wanted to pass or shoot there and got a bit muddled. Metro started very, very strongly. Of course, got the goal to go with it. And a bit more even as Satira looks to move forward. Ball by Page. Balls. Gallivanting forward from right back. Will be a second yellow card of the match. Right. Lazevic was it, I believe? Just referee just talking things through with Jackson Balls, who has been the receiving end of a lot of those fouls. A few of the Metro players couldn't get their waters, but they want to take the free kick, but Satira and D'Angelo still getting the final instructions. Gow.
Guess that maybe suggests what an open running game that it is tonight, because it's rare that you see him go for the drinks break so close to half time in the in the first half. I think Hamish Gow looked even a little bit surprised there.
Good ball over the top by Chinatini. Porter just couldn't get in on goal initially. He does well, Jake Porter, to recover it. And in the end, maybe not what could have been that attack. Neil Kasimovic under a lot of pressure. Pages have so many touches in this game. Crawford, and that brings to an end what has been pretty entertaining first half at TK Shota Reserve. The decisive goal coming from the defender Noel McNamara for MetroStars, who got off to a pretty strong start in this one, but just in the second part of that first half, Adelaide United managed to wrestle back a bit of momentum, but in the end not able to find the goal. And the league leaders look on their way at this stage to lengthening their lead on top of the ladder. We made of that first half there, Simon.
Yeah, as you said, MetroStars, they take away the advantage, but I think general play-wise, Adelaide United have been pretty impressive as well. I think going back to your earlier prediction, a bit of a goal as a result of a high turnover is a possibility for either of these sides, and I think maybe even Metro might want to set themselves the task early in the second half to try get a little bit of momentum back. So, going to be an interesting second, I reckon.
We will also take a short break now after what's been a pretty enthralling clash so far. We'll be back with you shortly for the second half of this RAA NPLSA clash between
For over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
What I'm excited about the most, how we can come together, learn about everybody, because we're not the same, but we're somehow the same.
The community came to government to express their concerns about young people. It is our role to listen and it's our role to act.
There's so many kids wanting to play the game from all walks of life.
African Youth Program was established to help Africans with sport, cultural identity, mentorship.
Having a program that's going to target the African children, given it's their sport of choice, presents a huge opportunity to link participation in football with education, which is a perfect mix.
I think the African Youth Program will be a very inclusive program with different teams, different schools coming to play with us.
It's like a very big opportunity to expand skills, knowledge, and in different areas of life.
Most of the kids will grow from this program to be able to become valuable, positive contributors in our society.
Like a voice to be spoken with and not being scared to show your skills.
This empowerment program has many different aspects to it, and of course sport is one of those, but it's actually really about finding your place in the world.
I think everybody's pushing in the one direction to make sure that we can make a real difference.
It's not just a game, it's a very passionate sport that millions of people around the world love to play. That's what football is.
puts in the penalty and wins the grand final for Campbelltown City.
We all play the same game. The battlefield may look different, but between those painted lines, the feeling each of us get alongside our tribe. Let the moment sink in, then let it rip. The runs out wide, last-ditch efforts and clean sheets. The tap-in or rocket to the top bins. The eruption of the 12th player that sends shivers down your spine. It's in the way we celebrate, because football is everyone's game. Play football.
It's deemed as an Italian club. That's a bit fictitious. They called it Salisbury Internationale because that's what it was. It was full of internationals from all walks of life, and it continues to be that. Obviously, we had an Italian background, right? But throughout the 50 years, it's been a big dynamics, and it's still changing. So it's great.
I think it's an exciting opportunity. Obviously the new State League 2 system, got the North and South, and I think the final series is definitely something that we want to be a part of and want to be involved in, so it's definitely an exciting opportunity.
Yeah, when I seen State League 2 North, I was all over it. I don't want to travel at all, so I was all about it. Wife was all about it.
Always been a northern boy. I'm 30 seconds down the road. Played for this club for 4 years a while ago, and it's just my family as well, been here as well, so it means a lot.
Everyone around the club's been so welcoming. All the people on the committee and around the club were so nice from day one, and same with the players. Got some nice experienced players out here who are really nice and welcoming to some of our younger players, so that's been really nice to have.
For over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
Coles Mini Roos is more than just football. It is a place to find our feet, learn new skills and meet new friends. Football starts here. Find your place. Join our team.
For Skimitsi against Ulash. Still trying to win against Skimitsi. Oh, and a save with the legs from Delangus. A space to run into. Amanda has one in the centre. Does reach him. Needs to find the angle for the hit. And it's a good save by Woodlands. Taking it out for a corner.
Even better save this one than the previous one.
Stam as well. Yeah.
Oh, Cinderello, what a save! He puts a fist behind it and sends it for a corner.
Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. Fixed price turnkey. It's gotta be HPG.
Hello and welcome back to TK Shutter Reserve for the second half of tonight's clash between MetroStars and Adelaide United Youth. So far, MetroStars, of course, with the one-goal lead. If you're just joining us, that goal courtesy of Noah McNamara off the back of the set piece, set up by his partner in crime at the back, Christian D'Angelo. I'm your match commentator, Lucas Ronaldo, joined tonight by Simon Jimenez. And Simon, a pretty entertaining first half. Let's hope more of that in the second.
Yeah, we saw a bit of momentum go the way of either side. I think was more the way of Adelaide United towards the end of the half. So I've no doubt now that MetroStars are just going to try to adjust and get a little bit more going their way.
No changes for either side this second half. Metro, as we said in the first half, pretty busy schedule to come. We'll have to wait and see the date of when the Australian Cup clash will be away against Canberra, Croatia. Might see a few fresh faces in the second half, while for the Reds, a few of their players might be dipping their toes into A-League men's pre-season in the coming weeks. So let's see if either side tires second half of as we say, a pretty exciting first half, despite just the one goal. Burkett, the target there, he was really the key man up front and the link man for Adelaide at times in the first half, as Amlani Tatu can use his skill and drives one low and hard and just intercepted that time at the front post, but didn't get too many chances to show his brilliance in the first half, but saw a little bit of it then of how dangerous he can be. Metro go long this time through D'Angelo. Towering header, Hamish Gow. Very busy in that first 45 minutes of attempts at goal. Sumovic comes across. Now Ryan White.
We mentioned at halftime that it looks like a couple players are maybe not having quite their usual involvement. In particular, just looking at MetroStars and the way that they're attacking, it's a different setup. And I think, yeah, perhaps not attacking as fluidly as they usually do, but we're setting up the same way with Visser on the left, Chittadini on the right, and Satira and Porter still in the middle.
Walls was in the walls a bit in the first half at times. Tackles coming in left and right, and what was a pretty feisty first half, I think it's fair to say.
Yep, he was right near us for most of that first half, so we got to have a front row seat to a couple of little battles going down. Sometimes it's almost a bit annoying that they have to switch directions, and you know that there's a big second half coming up.
Can Porter get on the end of this? Not quite. You see Danny Greystone looking to his bench. You mentioned, of course, Barbiero, of course, a known quantity with his experience, but then also the new man, Mitch Miller, on there as well. Just signed just this week. See those changes coming in the next 10 or 15 minutes, you think?
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Again, especially given that maybe it's up front a little bit where Metro's struggling. It might be a good time to get his first outing at TK Shutter tonight.
Here's Crawford. You don't want to give him space with his pace. And he puts it in at a brilliant chance. And what an opportunity. And Batistella could have put Adelaide United on level terms and probably should have put Adelaide United on level terms.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. The break was there. Harry Crawford did a fantastic job, both with the run and that centering delivery to Alex Batistella, but unfortunately not able to capitalise there. But MetroStars, even though they're lucky enough not to concede in that instance, just the fact that they've given up that ground and gave them such an opportunity, they'll be probably thinking that they have to regroup here, because although they do find themselves 1-0 up, it's not a big enough margin that they can rest against this quality young red side.
I think that's when they look the most dangerous, when they get Crawford on the front foot. He's so quick, he can cover so much ground, and particularly when you think that his opposite fullback on this side is Nagel. Of course, he's a brilliant player, but a lot more experienced, and in a foot race, there's almost going to be only one winner. So that's probably, you can say that for every player in the competition against Harry Crawford. Ryan White, 3 around him. Remains calm. Crawford pushing up again. Visasa. Pass intercepted by Visser. Visser and Ostrike gathers the ball, and I think I did at one point pronounce his name incorrectly in the first half, so apologies to him for that. As Ostrike moves it out now to Nagel.
Notice, I think, a little bit of a change just with the front two strikers in Porter and Satira. Before, Satira was playing on the right-hand side and Porter on the left, but it looks like possibly they've switched that around. I think Satira did originally go to the right, although right as I say that, he's jogging back to take that position again.
I think he's dropping a little bit more deeper as more of a number 10 than he was perhaps in the first half. It's a little bit less of more of a 4-2-3-1 than perhaps a flat 4-4-2 times in the first half. So Satira is that sort of play, covers so much ground that he can pop up everywhere. Here he is popping up on the ball now. 3 around him, and he doesn't care, manages to get it off for Woodford. White to Chittadini, who was very dangerous in the first half, as he always is. Step over, Jink for the cross, and Viss is there at the back post, and Porter did very well, just almost ghosted in next to Page there, and a decent opportunity for Adelaide United.
I'm just looking at that formation just after you mentioned that, the fact that Satira's possibly playing a bit more as a number 10, because it also means that Woodfin has dropped a little bit deeper and he's sort of playing next to Gow, and usually that's where Arby Mollis is, but of course he came off injured last week and he's absent tonight, so perhaps it is a good thing to see MetroStars just test it a little bit, just to make sure they are able to fill various gaps. But still, obviously, Barbiero on the bench too, and he's a man that's pretty threatening in that part of the park.
Yeah, we can see their whole bench warming up to our right-hand side from the commentary booth, and part of that's just keep warm, as that's a strong tackle. It was a late one, and looks like a yellow card here. An awkward one. It's Porter, I think, on the receiving end of that yellow. Just a little late on that occasion.
It's always rough to end up on the worst side of your own challenge and then get a yellow card for your efforts as well. So
this would move Metro even further clear at the top of the league. The RAA, proud supporters of Football South Australia, MPLSA ladder, just continue to move clear at the top of the league. Big grab, Croydon in their wake, as well as Adelaide United in that top 4. Good work by Visser, tracking back. Woodfin. Burkett did well to come back, and he's run inside a free kick as well. Just a frustrated Lashett goal. But yeah, he has been dangerous. I think he is getting a little bit frustrated, like we say, but he has managed quite a lot to get in positions and hold up the ball.
Such a competitive game. I think just as a stylistic matchup, it's a really interesting one that we're watching tonight. You see moments of Metro's getting a little bit frustrated, which usually doesn't happen. And even when they do come up, teams that get a little bit fiery, they have enough quality that they can punish them for that, but we're not really seeing that tonight.
Is this too far out for Omlani Tatu? It is on this occasion, and they whip it in instead. It was clever. I'm not actually sure the attacking players for Adelaide knew that was coming, but it was a clever little disguised one because they were so concerned about the Tatu free kick. They didn't really see the Basasa curler incoming.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a bit of confusion in the immediate aftermath for that.
Basasa, Tatu was there. Instead, they'll have another crack at goal and just over the top on that occasion. By,
yeah, Luka Blazovic was the one that tried that from a little bit of a way out. We've seen plenty of attempts from around that spot. Every player trying to...
Maybe not so far. Gow did have, obviously, a few chances from distance. He's one who you can see hitting one from that far out, but maybe not too many players from United of the ones that you'll want to hit it from that range. Always smarter to have the hidden hope in that stage off of a corner, though. You don't want to turn the ball over, as they have here. And it's a chance here for Porter, and just wide. What an opportunity, and Jake Porter might feel he could have done a little bit better on that occasion.
I think it has been a frustrating night for him so far in that instance. Woodfin doing some hard work to win it. The ball was good to Porter, and he lined it up, but final touch, not good enough.
And that's a bit of a silly goal kick routine there from Adelaide United. Gow. Visser. Nice feet from him. Can he find the delivery? Porter was once again the target, and it'll be a corner here for MetroStars, who are getting right back on top of this game.
Well, it was from the corner that they capitalised in the first half. You've got to say that in main play, things aren't really going their way at the moment. This might be the chance for him.
Corner in swinger. Woodfin thinks about the shot, and he strikes it, and it was dangerous. He did take the time. Still managed to get a pretty threatening shot on goal, but Page manages to hold on.
It's a really vocal MetroStars bench tonight. More vocal than usual, I've got to say. Possibly a bit of a symptom of the frustration that they're sort of seeing on the field a little bit.
You say that, there's still a goal to the good, and I think still probably good value for that. As Crawford tears away with it, and again, uses his pace, but they manage to retrieve. Porter. Satira, lovely feet from Satira. Just sucked in Kasumovic, and it'll be Kasumovic who goes into the book, and that's the third yellow card for Adelaide United.
Conceding the free kick and the yellow card might have even been the better option, because I get the feeling there, had Satira got that touch off and turned as he expected to, he would have been halfway to doubling this lead, I think.
Sasa's just going to be a little bit careful there. I don't think the ref quite caught it, but there was a bit of a sarcastic clap in his face. But he was actually writing the name down in his notebook, so I think he missed it. What looked to be, maybe it was a serious clap, but... Stars with a free kick on halfway. Just Satira just showing his experience there, doesn't he? Managing to manoeuvre his body so well. Was once on the books of Udinese, the youth system. Moved it further into City at Chi. Made his debut in the state leagues at 14 for Eastern United. Here's Walls. Ball across, and it was an awkward one for Page, and managed to retrieve on the second attempt. Good play by Jackson Walls, getting forward.
Well, we've said multiple times that Adelaide United definitely seem to be up to the challenge tonight, but when we tally up the amount of times that MetroStars should have been able to capitalise, they have been slowly adding up.
I think MetroStars have had the better of this second half so far as we sort of tick closer to the hour mark. I think they managed to wrestle control back, and as much as Adelaide United probably had the more possession, MetroStars were getting into the final third a bit more often. Susu getting fouled. Crawford is off and away. Good ball by Harry Crawford, and on the receiving end. What a goal that is by Battistella after a magnificent cross from Harry Crawford.
Well, they've been a very threatening looking duo tonight, and now finally rewarded for all their efforts. Crawford-Battistella combo. And right as we were saying that, MetroStars having the more opportunities, Adelaide United just on that quick break, able to punish, and you made the call in the first half, defensive error, is that going to go punished? And there it is.
That one was really all about the pace from Harry Crawford. Just gallivanting forward as he loves to do, and he's so quick. No one can catch him. It doesn't matter. Vista did well to track back, but he couldn't catch Crawford. And then the ball was excellent. When you're running at that speed, to manage to get it across low and hard as he did, and Battistella that time with no mistake. It's MetroStars 1, Adelaide United Youth 1.
I think Battistella almost sort of came out of nowhere as well. All of a sudden he pops his head up in the 18-yard box, and so the vision on Crawford to be able to pick him out, really impressive.
Here come Metro, looking to return the favour. Well won by Bailey O'Neill, stepping into midfield. Musasa, now Visa. Tempo of the game really stepping up a notch. Visa with the ball to the back post. Satira's there. He'll knock it down. Porter was lurking. A chance. It was never really going to be an easy one for Chittadini. Metro Bridge trying to ensure they don't overcommit. And looked like the referee was going to play advantage there. In the end, pulls it back.
Probably getting ahead of myself a little bit here, but just for the sake of interest, last time MetroStars shared points, it was back on the 26th of April against Playford. They've been on quite a streak as of late.
Been so good this year. Just absolutely dominant at the top of the league, but have they met their match this time? Now Omlani Tatu. This where he looks dangerous. Omlani Tatu! Oh, what a save that was. Just thrashed it from distance, and Ostrike forced into action.
Well, they're certainly showing off their ability to create right out of nowhere. They're so threatening from a long way out, whether it's those pinpoint shots or that pace that they're able to build with.
He is so brilliant when he gets into those areas. He's just given half a yard. He makes it feel like half a pitch. Busasa will deliver it this time. Ball bounces out. Battistella on the edge of the box. A 50-50. Now Burkett. Battistella, the goal scorer. Stanisic. Sasa. Sasa composed as he managed to hold on. Crawford classy as he manages to pass it on. Now he'll look for the pass and a little backheel clearance, if you don't mind, from Christian D'Angelo.
Brody Burke was licking his lips a second ago there. He was calling for it. He really wanted to get on to the end of that, right in the middle of the 18-yard box.
Move towards just past the hour mark. Still no changes from either side. That as Crawford intercepts again, but just too quick for his own good that time. Just passing the 64th minute on the One World LED and Sportal scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor LED solutions. What does either side need to turn this game in their favour off the bench, do you think, Simon?
It's hard to say because, I mean, MetroStars have that problem with the absence of Owen Wimpster due to suspension at the moment. He's their go-to guy, and I think they've missed him tonight. I just don't think they've got an option that'll slot straight in, unfortunately. Unless maybe they do perhaps move that front four around a little bit.
Well, I can tell you, I know we touched on the new man on the bench for MetroStars tonight, Mitchell Miller. Comes from great footballing stock. His dad, David Miller, goalkeeper in the NSL. But I know him quite well, played five-side with him many a time, and he's got one of the fiercest shots I've ever seen. It is both on left and right peg. Can crack one from distance. He's wearing the number 10 if he does get out there tonight. As they deliver the ball, Satira was there and waiting. Gal was looking to swing his own boot at it.
Yeah, well, on the topic of Mitchell Miller, I mean, to be honest, I look at Danny Greystone as a more conservative sort of coach to be in this situation and put someone on the field that hasn't been in this lineup before. I'm not sure how likely it is, but who knows, maybe he will decide to see what he's made of tonight.
I can tell you he's a very unique player. He's tall, he's lanky, but he's got such skill with the ball. I'm very excited to see what he can bring in such a good side. He's had little goes at it, sort of lower down the leagues, and he's a very unique individual.
I'm pretty eager to see him play because from the descriptors I've heard so far tonight, you said he's unique. You mentioned how dangerous his shot is. I also heard diamond in the rough be thrown around tonight as well, so it's an exciting prospect. I mean, I'll be completely honest, the fact that he came from second div in the amateurs, you know, maybe that's not the profile that immediately your ears prick up, but again, you don't know a player's journey, and so far from what we've heard, he's a very exciting prospect.
We need to get him on the pitch first, but yeah, trust me, it's all about making sure he's 100% focused at times. He's a man who's always 100% focused in Harry Crawford, looking for a nice ball to the back post, and that was a crucial intervention from D'Angelo because it was Burkett once again who was there and waiting.
Yeah, he was absolutely ready to get his head on that, but unfortunately, it was D'Angelo that just put himself in the path of that ball.
Barbiero, meanwhile, looks like he's going through maybe the final stages of his warm-up. Although, with all due respect to the great man, in your early 40s, I think you need a longer warm-up than perhaps normal. Maybe not Barbiero, though, in the shape he's in. As the ball comes in for Adelaide. Cleared away on this occasion. O'Neill.
Yeah. On that topic, I think, Barbiero is probably in the sort of shape that would maybe put some teammates half of his age to shame.
Definitely me. He's a beast. As D'Angelo moves it forward, Hamish Gow dropping as the deepest midfielder this time. Receive the ball for defence. Managing to get forward. It's good play here from MetroStars. Goes to the commentator there. They turn it straight over, and this time the Reds will go direct Off-strike headed away, but it was offside regardless. And there's going to be change here, I think, for Adelaide United. Off comes Ali Montashami. Sorry, on comes Ali Montashami, rather. And Busasa looks like the man to be withdrawn.
Yeah, Busasa's often the man to come on late in the game and make a bit of a difference. So good to see him get a start and play a solid, close to 70 minutes tonight.
He was pretty good, I thought.
Yeah.
A decent game. Definitely one that grew into it as well.
It's been interesting to watch him when he comes on late because he's a really good sort of opposite player to Tatu. Often plays on the other wing, and they're a very different type of threat, but both threatening nonetheless.
Played a bit of a different role tonight, coming inside centrally. Very strong on the ball. Well, out to Visser. Tashami looking to get immediately involved. Visser keeps him at bay. To keep Crawford at bay too, and he delivers it deep. Good fit. And looks like could be some afters. We saw a little bit of that in the first half, but I think the game's cooled down a bit, along with the temperature in the second. Page this time will use the direct approach. Talk about the battle of the modern way of playing it from the back and how that can lead to turning it over sometimes, but I'd love to see, we don't quite have this level of statistics in NPL, in the RAA, NPLSA, but the amount of times United have turned it over when they do go long compared to when they play it short, they seem to struggle. They obviously don't have the height being a younger team as well. Seem to struggle when they play direct.
I think the height, you particularly, every time there's a set piece taken, particularly corner, is when the height difference is really stark. So, yeah, I think there might be something to that. Well, there's a couple of outliers in the field that have it. One's wearing the number 71 in Vinko Stanisic, but just having a little scan of the field, Kasumovic, he's got a little bit of height as well. But
centre backs, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when they do play out from the back and go long, it's just hard for them to retain the ball. As good of a hold-up player Burkett is, more when he can use his feet. Ryan White obviously has a bit of height too. He's a chance here for Porter. Never really looked like he had the ball under his spell. Metro still yet to head towards their substitutes bench here.
Change things up a little bit up front for the young Reds. Alex Battistella sort of on the right-hand side more. And Matsushami sort of a little bit more central. I believe that's where Battistella was sort of sitting before.
Here is Battistella. Told to have a shot, instead finds Tatu, who finds a brilliant ball across, but intercepted once again. He's had a few of those ones, hasn't he, Tatu, where he's get it off with his left foot, but just been intercepted. Always dangerous, but just quite hasn't been able to find the finishing touch tonight. The man who turns 17 on Tuesday.
We even had a bit of a debate, myself and a couple of the commentators. We weren't sure if he was 16 or 17. But when you put into context how young that actually is for a player that's playing at his level and against the calibre of play he's playing against in the RAA MPLSA, it's pretty staggering.
And played A-League minutes this year. I believe he is turning 17 on Tuesday because he has played at under 17 level this year. It's Crawford. Went for the Rabona, Harry Crawford. He's taken the mickey a little bit, Harry Crawford. He's had a brilliant game. That's why I'm trying to bring out the skills.
Well, here's another opportunity for Adelaide United to bring forward their limited tall timber.
It's a niche reference. Every time an Australian player does a Rabona, I'll ever think of Nicky Carl. If anyone remembers that for the Socceroos many years ago. Tatu with the outswinger. It's a good ball. Kasumovic was there. Just couldn't quite get himself on it. It's Crawford. And Metro looking to counter, couldn't quite. Oh, poor giveaway in Chittadini. They could be away here. There's an overload. Porter, can he beat his man in the 1v1? Said drag into it. Woodfin will have a go from distance. There's just too many bodies in the way. And getting pretty end-to-end with lots to play for in the final 17 minutes.
Just caught a little bit of a moment of hesitation there from Jake Porter. He sort of pulled up running. I'm not sure if it's due to some sort of niggle or maybe a little bit of fatigue, but nonetheless interesting, possibly even some frustration, because there's been a couple of moments tonight where he possibly should have been able to capitalise, but it's fallen short.
It's been dangerous, but like you say, just the final finish has escaped him at times. As the pass out from the back has a rare mistake from D'Angelo.
Admittedly, he probably hasn't had the sort of game time, Porter, that he would like himself. I mean, it's not an easy team to break into, and tonight he's getting his opportunity, but it's a tough ask to come in and just be completely sharp when you haven't been playing every single week and haven't been playing 90 minutes.
Crawford again. Ball in. Had a lot of power and pace and purpose. He's having a fantastic game, the young man.
So dangerous every time he gets possession in those deep spots.
And that whistle isn't for a substitution, but for a word. Ryan White and Harry Crawford, maybe just a welcome back. They've both been away. Now's not the time, Ref.
Keep it for the club rooms after 90 minutes.
Draw. Definitely not a bad result for MetroStars, considering how far ahead they are on top of the league.
I had a look at the stat, 10 wins on the trot they've strung together. It's a nice round number, but I'm sure they'd love to make it 11 tonight instead and keep it going deeper into this season.
Absolutely. Keep that momentum going into their cup run, both in the cup final and in the Australia Cup. Of course, just a reminder that the Federation Cup final between MetroStars and Croatia Raiders is on Saturday, the 12th of July. That's next Saturday. Head to the Football SA website to get your tickets. Here's Crawford. Nice feet by Crawford again. And for a second, you thought that might just dip in at the back post. The game he's having, you wouldn't put it beyond him.
I was wondering if he was going to try flex his fancy footwork again. Not to be. I mean, it's one of those things about Australian football culture. The flair maybe isn't quite as celebrated as or encouraged. So when we get a little bit of a taste of it, we do lap it up.
Definitely with these teams do have a few players. I mean, Tatu obviously springs to mind first, but Crawford has a bit of that about him as well. Chittadini for Metro. Metro are 9 points clear at the top. Go 10 clear tonight, I believe. Now to holding on to this result. Could go 12 clear with the win, of course. Ryan White, the skipper. Crawford. Closer is the word from the Metro bench. Nobody can get close to Harry Crawford at the moment. Just over 10 minutes to go. Metro still not made a change, and still just the one from Adelaide United. Good ball from Ryan White. Or maybe not. Just a little bit too much on it for Harry Crawford.
Just having a quick look at the ladder at the way it concerns Adelaide United at the moment. Assuming this goes to a draw, they'll actually be all the way down in 6th, which is possibly a little bit surprised, but reflective of how close this ladder is. Equal points as it stands with Playford at the moment on 25, occupying 5th and 6th spot. FK Beergrad are only on 27, so if they do manage to take 3 points tonight, I mean, that's a big jump from 6th, where they currently are, potentially up to that 3rd spot.
Satiro looking to put that to bed. Now Porter, Woodfin. In fact, it's Chittadini. And a lovely save from Page. Chittadini managed to rebalance his feet fantastically, but tipped over the bar by Ethan Page.
It's a good effort for Chittadini to get that one under control. It wasn't the most simple ball to get under control and get that shot off, but he managed to do it, and it's a pretty good shot in the end. Gow was cornered for it as well.
Short corner here. Can they thread from a set piece again? It was McNamara, the goal scorer for MetroStars, who was looking to get on the end of it. Quick counter from Adelaide United. It's Tatu. Chance Battistello, the goal scorer for Adelaide United. An awkward one for the substitute now. And Burkett looking to get round Gow, and free kick against Burkett.
Burkett and Gow separated at birth.
They look a little bit similar when they get next to each other.
There's a bit of a common vibe there.
And the subs have just been recalled from their warm-up for Metro, but all of them, so it's hard to tell if any of them will come on. Gow. MetroStars looking to build from the back, as they always do. Nagel. Porter having to hold it up. No way, says Stanisic, but the referee saw the foul there.
Yeah, from this angle, it looked like possibly way, indeed.
I think that's probably the right call. Woodfin. Just didn't have many options, as he looked like he maybe wanted to switch it, but not enough movement from the MetroStars players. He'll provide the movement on his own. Woodfin. Visser. Just couldn't quite get the touch away. Moved it into a dangerous area. Reds don't get it clear though. Visser. And it's Porter. And brilliant defending. It's a fantastic tackle by Stanisic. A time when they really needed it.
It's a bit of a feeling of desperation for Porter at the moment. He'd love to be the man that separates MetroStars once again in the second half. But from the corner worked a little bit earlier in this game.
Woodfin, will he have a crack at goal? I think only he can answer that. So it looks like a bit of a shot come cross. Page spears one out. But Tatu that time couldn't get it under his control. Just under 10 minutes to go on the One World LED and Sportal scoreboard. All your indoor and outdoor solutions. Still, these sides can't be separated.
Game's flown by, to be perfectly honest. I was at Mopri in Adelaide City earlier today, and that was the sort of game that was a bit of an arm wrestle. This has been much more open. It's really flown by.
Been a pretty exciting one. And if you watch every game and love the game, why not study it? Flinders University now offers degrees in sport, teaching, psychology, social work and more at its new city campus. Apply now for mid-year entry. Billy O'Neill, who at times looked a bit under the cosh. Giudini was putting him in a bit of danger in that first half, but I think he's settled well in that second half. Giudini hasn't really had too much of a sniff. I reckon see Barbiero getting some final instructions. Experience required to help them over the line. Throw in here for Adelaide United. Burkett dropping off. A lot to do from that area. Not much on in the middle. Crawford. White. Stanisic. And he's robbed of possession. And Jake Porter's in. Can he get one-on-one? Kasumovic. Oh, that's brilliant defending by Fazo Kasumovic. And Jake Porter, who has had a couple of chances, wasn't able to capitalise on that defensive error. And now Crawford's using his pace down the other end. Crawford, ball across once again, and good defending by D'Angelo, and then well kept in for a moment by McNamara. And how about that? Fazer play one into another, and a brilliant piece of defending by Fazer Kasumovic.
A little bit more frustration for Jake Porter as well, who's found that ball there, just couldn't quite get things under control and composed enough to get a shot off, and Oscar Page was rushing back. Had he managed to just get things settled enough to get a nice shot off, he possibly could have helped him capitalise there, but not to be. So, yeah, that frustrating outing continues for Jake Porter, but straight away.
Can tell you that it's going to be a debut shortly for Mitch Miller off the bench. They'll wait until after the set piece, almost like a corner positionally. This one. They will go to the bench for the first time shortly, MetroStars, as they look to get the win, but it's with just over 5 minutes remaining. Adelaide United who have a chance here. Tattoo to deliver, and a ball to the back post, and it's in! Oh, but there's been a free kick given. Wow. I mean, that didn't look like... What do you think, Simon? Kasumovic had the header. To me, I'm not sure there was a great deal wrong with that.
I've got to be completely honest. I think that's something I ought to watch after. It all happened so fast, I didn't get a good look, but I'll certainly be having a look at this after the game.
First look, there wasn't, in fairness, there wasn't a great deal of appeal from Adelaide United youth, you could say that. So that's normally a good indicator. But when I initially heard the whistle, I thought it must have been offside, which of course from that position was always going to be unlikely. And Edson Andrioli's definitely not happy with the decision below us.
Even for MetroStars, they didn't react a lot either to that.
We need a look at that one after, but there's no looking back for these two sides. MetroStars, game hanging in the balance, and it's an awkward one for Page. He couldn't get there, and there'll be a free kick that time. Satira didn't put it in the back of the net, and it does allow MetroStars to make their change, and it'll be the number 10, Mitchell Miller, to come on for his MetroStars debut. Going to work out too is coming off, because there is a man down in the box. Can't quite see who it is at this stage. They do need a trainer on.
Yeah, I can't quite make that out either. Is it Porter? All I can see is the top of the head.
I reckon he was about to come off anyway by the looks of Danny Greystone. Let's hope he's all right. Maybe a collision with the goalkeeper there. And a tough night for Jake Porter.
Excited to see what Mitch Miller can do, given the praises that you've had for him so far.
I mean, take it with a grain of salt. It was in a five-side team with me. So it might have been by the way with comparison.
Oh, it wasn't just from you tonight. The MetroStars president had a quick word, and admittedly, with the player movements this week, I don't think this is the one that, people were thinking was going to turn the NPL upside down, but, certainly to snatch 3 points tonight late would be a huge outcome, and whenever you see a new player wearing the number 10 for any side, it's always an exciting prospect. So, Mitchell Miller, let's see what you can do.
And Porter, I reckon he might be just feeling his shoulder here. He's now to his feet, which is good. Looks like he'll be okay. He will be withdrawn, of course, but let's see what happens to him now.
Big body up front's an interesting proposition for MetroStars.
It's the cliche, but great touch for a big lad. Certainly applies to him. As we mentioned, comes across from Monarchs in the Sassel, second division on Saturdays.
It looks like Satira's also gone to his usual right-hand side, and Chittadini's more in the middle.
I think maybe just to get Chittadini a bit more involved. He's not quite had the effect he would have liked.
Even Satira too, to be completely fair, I don't think he's looked his best tonight.
And for a game that's been pretty high quality for the most part, on that occasion, just couldn't quite. A couple of errors creeping into both sides. Is Visser just under hit for Chittadini. McNamara, got to be careful, and Birkin always going to be a foul, that one. Burkett. McNamara goes direct. Miller off to Chittadini. Satira. Tattoo working back. Satira, lovely feet. Well held up in the area. Burkett. Burkett, little shot. It's Tattoo in the box, and a lovely bit of defending by D'Angelo. Crucial block on that occasion, because Tattoo, we would have fancied him to put that in the back of the net.
It's a little bit of unfamiliar territory for Tattoo in the middle of the 18-yard box, but nonetheless, when he finds himself with the ball at his feet there, it's an exciting prospect, but not to be. And it would have been big for Adelaide United if they were to snatch the lead this late in the piece.
Barbiero is going to come on shortly, the next chance they can get, but again, not wanting to make the change on the set piece as we tick over into injury time. There might be a little bit. It's been a bit stop-start in this second half. Tattoo with the outswinger. Visser. There's a chance for a counter-attack for MetroStars. Chittadini. Good feet from Chittadini. Their opportunity for Metro. Outside of the foot. Visser is in on goal. Visser to win it. And he was offside anyway. Just nicked the post on the way out. And that could have been curtains if Visser managed to put that one away, but offside regardless.
Oh, interesting. That was sort of it. Chittadini running that up in a little bit more of a favoured position from him on that left-hand side. He was able to pick out Visser in the middle. I'll be interested to see who makes way for Barbiero now. I think perhaps it will be Chittadini, maybe?
No, it'll be Satira who's just going off on the far side. And worth a mention, Fabian Barbiero, as we say, 113 games for Adelaide United in his career. And unless these sides meet in the finals, or unless if Barbiero wants to go into a next season, could be his last game against his former side and in collaboration with his former side, a side that he served so well. So in a year that potentially may have a few laughs for Fabian Barbiero, I know I've said that before, we'll have to see if this is his swan song against his former side and if he can have a final say. Kasumovic, Miller leaving one on him. Visser. And Visser, strong tackle there. And it was the substitute, Motashami, who put the tackle in. And I'm not sure how much he was actually hurt. Maybe wanted by a second hope that the ref didn't card him, but right call from the referee. It was a strong tackle. The cards continue to stack up for Adelaide United. I mean, physical encounter.
With the new body of Mitch Miller off this set piece, I think this might be a little bit interesting. You got McNamara, D'Angelo, and now Miller there. And I saw a pretty menacing look on Miller's face as he was sprinting a moment ago.
Him and Kasumovic getting into a little tussle here. Chittadini on the ball. It's very deep. Too deep. How much stoppage time do you think we'll have? A couple of minutes into it now.
Yeah, we could perhaps see 5 minutes.
Porter was down for a while.
Yeah.
Visser gets around Crawford but couldn't keep it in.
And I think Metro will certainly want as much as possible because it seems like they're just getting a little bit of momentum back now.
Do have a feeling that they are the more likely side. Barbiero and Crawford, difference in, well, vast difference of ages. Anyone against for Adelaide United, considering they're a youth team, obviously. Miller closing down, and that is a pretty heavy tackle. And yellow card. That could have been worse for Miller. One thing I didn't mention that far side, he was prone to a red card.
Welcome to the NPL, Mitch Miller.
Welcome to NPL if you're a defender against him, because that wasn't a good tackle. Luckily, he's okay.
Yeah, he certainly got a reaction from the bench.
Yeah, Anthony Andrioli.
It's not often to hear his voice pierce through, is it?
No, he's not.
On that occasion,
not the most booming. It's more of a sort of the quieter type, and that brings to an end his final game as the youth team coach as these two sides wrap up what was a pretty exciting encounter, but no side managing to walk away with the 3 points. Points will be shared, and MetroStars, as they continue their charge to what could be and looks like it will be a minor premiership, 1 point closer and moving a little bit further away considering the results that have happened elsewhere today. But for Adelaide United, it's getting awfully tight in that race for final spots. I think a draw's fair in the end, Simon?
Possibly, but given the quality of the game tonight, I think just the late goal would have been just the excitement that it needs to really feel like you've come away with something great from your Saturday night. So a little bit, you know, you finish with a draw, you think, we would have liked to see a nice little separator, but not to be tonight, just some quality football.
I'm sure Adelaide United will be running straight to the stream after the game to see a replay of that Kasumovic disallowed goal.
Possibly, yep. And I hope you've got the time written down, because I might be going back to do the same as well, because I didn't get a good look at it at the time.
Like I said, there wasn't too many complaints, and that's normally a good telltale sign. And in the end, probably a fair result, a point between the sides. A lot of quality on display, because both sides will be in amongst the Australia Cup. Adelaide seniors, of course, rather than the youth team. But a few of these guys will be in the mix, as well as the coach, while the MetroStars, as their brilliant season rolls on, we'll see if they move to having a deep run in that competition. It's been a pretty thrilling encounter here. Thank you all for your time tonight. Thank you for your time, Simon.
Thank you. Pleasure commentating a game by your side tonight. It was a good one.
It was a thrilling game. No winner, though the score's level. And it's a final good night on behalf of Football South Australia and the RA NPLSA. The scores tonight: MetroStars 1, Adelaide United Youth 1.